Hello students! Welcome to our new normal class. Today we are now discuss the lesson 2 in first quarter, which is the rational function. Before we start the discussion, let us present to you the learning competency. So 1. Represent a real-life situation using a rational function. Distinguish rational function, rational equation, and rational inequality. Solve rational equation and inequality. Represent a rational function through its table of values, graphs, and equation. Finds the domain and range of a rational function. Determines the intercept, zero, and asymptotes of rational function. And lastly, this solves problem including rational function, equation, and inequalities. So let's start to discuss what is rational function. When you say rational function, given that two polynomial function, the p and the q, take note that the polynomial function, it is a function that involves a non-negative integer power or only positive integer exponent. Meaning, in the rational function, wala pong negative na exponent. If meron po kayong nakitang negative na exponent sa equation, hindi po siya rational function as well as polynomial function. So the function defined by f of x is equal to p of x over q of x. Let's talk about what is rational expression. When you say rational expression, it is an expression that can be written as a ratio of two polynomials. So I will give you the example. What is rational expression? Before that, A is over B, where A and B are the polynomials and B is not equal to 0. So example, x squared plus 5 over x plus 2. Review that the upper part is the numerator and the bottom part is the denominator. So in this example, a rational expression because it is a ratio of two polynomials. So the rational expression are also called the algebraic fraction, meaning all of the equation, they are algebra. Nandyan po si x, nandyan po si y, at meron pong mga exponent. So algebra po sila. Next is the following are the rational expression. So these are the example of rational expression. So they are 3. The first example is x plus 3 over x minus 5. So it is a rational expression. Why? Because they are algebra equation. Next, x plus 7 over 2x squared plus x minus 6. It is a rational expression because the exponent or the square is a positive. And the last example is x to the 4th plus x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5 over x squared minus 1. It is also a rational expression because napapansin natin yung mga exponent po nila, di po sila negative. They are positive. Okay? Before we proceed into the rational equation, let us review all of the rules that we apply into the rational equation. So number one rule is the addition or subtracting a rational expression with like denominator. So the first step is number one, add or subtract the numerator. Second is retain the common denominator. And the lastly is simplify the result. So I have here an example. So the example here is x plus 2 over x plus 3 plus x minus 1 over x plus 3. Isn't it that they are the same denominator? So follow the rule. So first step is add the numerator. So the numerators are x plus 2 plus x minus 1. Step number 2, you need to retain the denominator. Since pareho lang po yung denominator natin, siya lang po, hindi po natin sila pwedeng i-add. You need to copy-paste lang po. Okay? And then, simplify the result. So, x plus x is 2x. Bakit po ka naging 2x? Si x po, meron po siyang invisible by 1. So, 1x plus 1x is equal to 2x. So, 2 minus 1 is 1. So, the answer is 2x plus 1 over x plus 3. So, this is the first rule of adding or subtracting rational expression with like denominator. Next rule. Next rule is the adding or subtracting rational expression with different denominator. So, this time, we need how to add or subtract a rational expression with different denominator. So, here are the step-by-step procedure. Number 1, find the least common denominator or the LCD. So, in finding the LCD, I will discuss it later on. Next, write the equivalent expression of each rational expression. Next is add or subtract the enumerator and keep the LCD or the least common denominator. And lastly, simplify the result if it is possible. So I have here an example. The example here is 1/3 plus 1/5. So isn't it that they are different denominators, 3 and 5. So in finding the LCD, you need to get the factor and then find the least, yung pinakamalapit pong kapareho po niya sa pag-factor ng dalawang number. So ano ba yung factor ni 3? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Ano po ang factor ni 5? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So, meron na po tayong nakitang pagkapareho. Ano po yon? Ito ay 15. Okay? So, magiging 15 po ang ating LCD. So, sa 15 na yon, you need to simplify it. So, 15 divided by 3, it's 5. Time is 1, 5. So, ang 1/3 magiging 5 over 15. So, dito naman tayo sa 1/5. 15 divided by 5, it's 3. Time is 1, 3. So, ang 1/5 magiging 3 over 15. So, naging pareho na po ang kanilang denominator. At ang LCD po nila ay 15. Okay? And then, add and subtract the numerator. So, 5 plus 3, it's 8. Ang answer po natin is 8 over 15. Next rule is how to find the LCD. So we have here the step-by-step procedure. Number 1, list the different denominator that appear into the rational expression. Number 2, factor each denominator completely. Yung pong sinabi ko po kanina. And lastly, find the product of each factor with the greatest number of appearance into denominator factorization, and that is the highest power. So in the LCD, all you need to do is to factor. Get the factor of the two number and get the least, yung pinakamalapit na magkapareho. And then after natin makuha yung LCD, ang denominator, ang original na denominator, you need to divide. Kunin mo natin yung division ni LCD dun sa original na denominator. And then after natin makuha yung division dun sa denominator, ang sagot po doon, ita-times po natin siya sa numerator. So pagka-times po natin sa numerator, yan po ang magiging numerator natin bago, at ang denominator natin ay yung LCD. So yun lang po ang pagkuha ng LCD or the least common denominator. Next, so let's start to discuss the rational equation. So, in a rational equation, it is an equation indicating that two expressions with at least one term written as a fraction are equal. So, I will give you the example. 2 over 3x is equal to x minus 1 over 5. So, paano ba natin malalaman kung bakit siya naging equation? So, for the word itself, equation, the root word equal. So, pag meron ka na pong nakitang equal, it is a rational equation. So, in this example, meron po siyang equal. Okay? So, solving the rational equation. So, paano ba natin masasolve si rational equation? So, meron tayong tinatawag na RAM method that we can use to simplify a rational equation. Number 1, the letter C. Clear all fractions by multiply both sides of the equation by the LCD of the terms. Letter R. Remove all grouping symbols, if any. 3. Or letter A, add and subtract the similar terms. And lastly, the M, multiply or divide both sides by the numerical coefficient of the variable, leaving only the variable on the left side of the equation with coefficient equal to 1. Then, check the solution or the result. So I will give you an example. So x over 5 plus 1/4 is equal to x over 2. So the LCD of this denominator is 20. Bakit po siya naging 20? So, try natin i-factor yung tatlong denominator para at least makita natin na 20 yung denominator or the LCD itself. So, ano ba yung factor ni 5? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So, ano ba yung factor ni 4? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Ano naman yung factor ni 2? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So, ang pinakamalapit nilang kapareho o yung nag-iisa lang na kapareho dun sa pinactor natin ay 20. So, all you need to do is to multiply both sides, the equation. So, magiging 20 times x over 5 plus 1/4 is equal to 20 times x over 2. So, in rational equation, yung po mga denominator na original, magka-cancel po sila. So, magiging answer nila dyan is 4x plus 5 over 10x. Bakit naging sir ng 4x plus 5 over 10x? So, 20 divided by 5, 4. So, 4, idagdag mo lang siya sa numerator nila ng x. So, naging 4x. So, doon naman tayo sa 1/4. So, sa 1/4, 20 divided by 4, 5. So, naging 5 po yung numerator. Next is x over 2 naman tayo. So, 20 divided by 2 is 10. So, 10x po siya. So, in multiplying the LCD po, matatanggal po ang ating denominator. Magiging equation po sila. So, the answer, yung nakuha natin ay 4x plus 5 is equal to 10x. Next step is combine the like term. So, the like term dyan ay 4x and 10x. But, hindi po sila magkasama. So, anong gagawin natin? You need to transpose yung kabila at mag-change po ang kanyang sign. So, si 4x po, i-transpose natin siya dun sa kabila, magiging negative 4x siya. So, si 5 na lang po yung matitira sa in the other side. So, 5 is equal to 10x minus 4x. Since nag-transpose si 4x, magbiiba po yung sign niya. So, 10x minus 4x is 6x. So, matitira na lang natin ay 5 is equal to 6x. So, paano ba natin itatanggal si 6 kay x para makuha natin yung value of x? So, you need to divide kung ano ba yung katabi ni x. So, ang katabi ni x is 6. Okay? So, divided by 6 both sides. So, 5 divided by 6 and 6x divided by 6. Para makancel po si 6, matitira na lang po ay si x. So, the answer is x is equal to 5 over 6. In checking the solution, you need to substitute the value of x. At makukuha natin yung checking nun. So, if pareho po yung sagot na yung mga nakuha natin sa equation by checking, tama po ang value of x natin. Pero, kung mali naman po ang nakuha natin sa checking, may problema po sa step na ginawa ninyo. Okay? For this equation, tama po ang value of x. Let's proceed to the rational inequality. When you say rational inequality, it is a equality which contain a rational expression. rational function, rational equation, rational inequality, they have a rational expression. The general form of a rational inequality is R of x is over Q of x more than 0, where more than can be replaced with more than equal, less than, and less than equal. For the word itself, inequality, hindi po sila equal. So, lahat po na ginagamit nating symbol dito ay more than or greater than and less than. Okay? So, how to solve a rational inequality? So, here are the step-by-step procedure to solve the rational inequality. So, the first step is get 0 on the one side of the inequality. Number 2 is get a common denominator and combine the like terms. Next is find the critical value of numerator and denominator. Next is graph the solution on the number line, but we cannot graph it. We only do is the solve the rational inequality, and then the next is test each interval on the number line. So the last 4 and 5 we can not graph and interval the number. So the purpose is to get the or how to solve the rational inequality. So example. So the example is x minus 7 over x plus 5 plus 3 is greater than equal to 0. So how to simplify or how to solve this rational inequality? So the first thing is get 0. Since this equation is already get a 0. Next is get the denominator or the common denominator. So since the 3 automatically the 3 is ang denominator niya ay 1. So magiging 3 over 1 siya. So hindi na tayo mahihirapan to get the least common denominator. So ang least common denominator natin, yung merong denominator, which is the x plus 5. So the x plus 5, retain lang natin yung equation ni x minus 7 over x plus 5. Ang mag-iiba na lang po si 3. So si 3 po, automatic, kita times natin siya agad kay x plus 5. And then after we get the denominator or the least common denominator, you need to combine the like terms in the numerator. So, before that, since meron siyang multiplication kay 3 tsaka kay x plus 5, we apply the distributed property. So, 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 5 is 15. So, x minus 7 plus 3x plus 15. And then, combine the like terms. So, the like term there is x plus x and plus 3x, negative 7 plus and plus 15. So, x plus 3x is 4x. Since the x it is a invisible by 1. Next, negative 7 plus 15 is positive 8. Kasi mas malaki po si 15, kaya positive po ang kanyang sign. And then, pag different sign po siya, pag different sign po, automatic subtraction po ang ating operation. So, ang answer natin dyan ay 4x plus 8 over x plus 5 more than equal to 0. So, kung meron pa tayong nakita na i-simplify natin siya, pwede pa natin siya i-simplify. Pero since in this example, wala na tayong simplify. So the answer is 4x plus 8 over x plus 5 more than equal to 0. So that is the lesson 2, which is the rational function. So I hope you learned something from me. So good day, students, and God bless. Good day!